It's time for today's travel and cruise industry news. With the latest from travel and cruises around the world, here's your host, Chillie Falls.
Good morning, welcome to Travel and Cruise Industry News. On this Tuesday, November 29th, 2022, coming to you from Bedford County, Virginia, Central Virginia area. Got a couple of news stories this morning. The headlines are Virgin donates 2,000 cruises to healthcare workers. A challenging day for Port Canaveral. 15,000 visitors to St. Martin in a single day. 2 former Norwegian ships arrive at the scrapyard. And Carnival clarifies the muster drill. That and a lot more here this morning at 11 o'clock. Today, by the way, folks, is National Lemon Cream Day. I kind of like that. I don't mind a lemon pie every now and then. So it would be a good day to go out and have a piece of lemon pie. Probably not something you had over Thanksgiving. But anyway, I might just have to do that myself today. If you are listening via the podcast, always welcome. We do have a way that you can access the podcast every day on my blog, which is accessadventure.net, or wherever you get your podcast from, all the big guys, iHeartRadio, Podchaser, Stitcher, Pandora, any of them. Just search for Travel and Cruise Industry News, and up pops the Fat Travel Guy. Because I do occasionally post pictures on the show, there's always a link in the description of the podcast, so you can access the video feed anytime you would like. All right, we got a couple of announcements this morning before we get to the news for today. A Thursday show this week will go live somewhere in the vicinity of 6:30 a.m. I know that's early for many of you, but it's due to, that's a travel day for me. Plus, I've got to be in the dentist chair, periodontist chair at 8 o'clock for a 3-hour procedure. And then I'm going to be driving on my way to Fort Lauderdale. So we'll do the show that day, but it's going to be live at 6:30, which means if you're bouncing around at 11 o'clock like normal, you can just follow the link and catch the replay. The Cruise Amigos for Thursday is canceled. Again, because I'm traveling. John had some conflicts as well. Actually, Amigo Martin was available, but he would have to do it by himself. So we can't just cancel Cruise Amigos on Thursday. If you are listening via Twitter, because I'm just hoping to cover any negatives that may come out of Elon Musk's purchase of Twitter, in case the thing should get shut down or canceled or any of those untoward things. I'm asking all my folks that follow me on Twitter and watch this show on Twitter just to hop over to YouTube and subscribe to my YouTube channel just to cover your behinds in case that should happen. Just go to YouTube and search for Chillie's, CHILLIE' Cruises, plural. And that'll give you my channel, and you can just subscribe. If you want to hit the bell notification, that's fine. Excuse me, a little frog in my throat. The next 3 cruises, of course, will be sponsored by the next generation of power wheelchairs and personal mobility devices. Wheelchairs out of San Mateo, California. We're going to be talking about wheelchairs some. are also their parents. They are the parent company of Scooter. Now, yesterday I was pretty negative about Expedia. I have not changed my position on Expedia. However, in all fairness, I have to tell you, they did what they said they were going to do. I got the full refund, including the airline credit. It hit my bank account overnight. It has already been spent in rebooking the cruises. I did that directly, however, and not going through Expedia. Also, there is an addition as of this morning to my cruise schedule. Some of you may be interested in that, but I am booked on the February 23rd cruise from Baltimore on Enchantment of the Seas. And it stops in Charleston, South Carolina, Port Canaveral, Coco Cay, and Grand Bahama Island, which that's free, of course. I have never sailed into either Charleston, South Carolina, or sailed into Port Canaveral as a port of call. I have sailed out of Port Canaveral numerous times, but I've never been on a cruise ship that stopped there for the day. I'm sure I'll hop off the ship and go over to one of my favorite restaurants and have a little seafood while I'm there. Might be an interesting stop. All right, that takes care of the cruise announcements. That, by the way, it sails on February 23rd. Enchantment of the Seas, 8-night cruise from Baltimore. So, if any of you are interested, I'm going to be on it. I've never sailed out of Baltimore either. So that's checking off another bucket list. It's another cruise ship that I haven't been on. So that's got several things that I had wanted to do in 2023, wrapped up in one. All right, so I debated on making this a news story, and I thought, no, let's put it right here. The world's largest active volcano, Mauna Loa on Hawaii, is erupting for the first time in 40 years. The lava is flowing down on one side of the volcano. The eruption in Hawaii Volcanoes National Park is not threatening communities, so said the U.S. Geological Survey yesterday. All indications are that the eruption will remain in the northeast rift zone, whatever that means, and an advisory referring to the area where a volcano is splitting, allowing for lava flow. Volcanic gas can possibly find ash in Pele's hair. That's strands of lava glass may be carried downwind. And the agency went on to say that they have started an investigation as to how Hot Air Tom managed to get the volcano to erupt for the first time in 40 years. That's the truth, and I'm not going to change it. Hot Air Tom, of course, is in Hawaii. I'll be back with today's news after a word from one of our network sponsors. All right, let's see what we got here. The top story today. What's the top story today? The top story today has to deal with Virgin Voyages. And this is for all of our healthcare worker friends out there. Virgin Voyages is celebrating Giving Tuesday by paying it forward and honoring local healthcare heroes with the vacation of a lifetime, company said in a press release. For the second consecutive year, the South Florida-based travel and lifestyle brand is partnering with Baptist Health South Florida and donating 2,023 complimentary voyages totaling an estimated $5.9 million to deserving employees to ring in the new year with their friends and loved ones. For the past 3 years, our local healthcare workers put everything on the line to care for the community, and now it's our turn to pay it forward, said Jill Stoneberg, Virgin Voyages Senior Director of Sustainability and Social Impact. We've turned a corner, and we'd love to offer our frontline workers a much-deserved break. The Virgin Voyages team is honored to give our friends at Baptist an incredible vacation on the high seas where they can unplug and escape for a few days. In celebration of the new year ahead, the 2023 Gifted Sailings will recognize employees in the Baptist Health Network who have made a positive impact in the local healthcare community. Winners will receive a voyage for two in a terrace, a sea terrace, a trendy balcony cabin with fun mood lighting, rainfall showers, and the signature red hammock. The 2023 winners will select from one of 6 incredible Caribbean itineraries departing from Miami between January 2nd and April 28th. All right. What a day it was yesterday in Port Canaveral. Thankfully, Port Canaveral is the second busiest port in the world. Because of that, they know what they're doing, but they certainly pushed the boundaries yesterday. Not only were 4 ships scheduled, the Independence of the Seas, Carnival Liberty, Norwegian Getaway, and the Disney Wish, but also due to Wonder of the Seas arriving a day later than anticipated after medical evacuation and a diversion to San Juan. Port Canaveral had a grand total of more than 43,000 passenger movements in a single day. Port officials began sending out traffic advisories and notifications in the mid-morning yesterday, advising guests to plan extra time for port traffic and congestion. I bet so. I mean, I've seen it congested in Port Canaveral with 3 ships, much less, 5, and one of them being the largest ship in the world. Here's the other thing that had things that kind of screwed up. Because Wonder of the Sea requires a larger berth and was not expected to be in port, terminal assignments had to be juggled at the last minute, which amounted to additional congestion for shuttle buses. This meant the passengers sailing on Independence of the Seas, Royal Caribbean's other vessel in port, was embarking from Terminal 6 rather than Terminal 1, where the ship was originally scheduled, but where Wonder of the Seas was docked instead. Terminal 6 is actually a Carnival Cruise Line terminal north of the West Turning Basin at nearly the opposite end of the complex from Terminal 1. Cruise passengers from Independence were able to drop their bags at Terminal 6, move their vehicles to Terminal 1, where the Freedom Class vessel will return after a 4-night cruise that started yesterday. Wow. And then, of course, they had to bus them back and top and more traffic. Fortunately, despite all the confusion and congestion, all 5 ships were able to depart Port Canaveral smoothly. Maybe not happily for all the passengers, but the ships got out. Okie dokie. All right. St. Martin, one of the most popular cruise destinations for cruise ships worldwide, has seen a speedy recovery post-pandemic with more than 15,000 cruise ship passengers arriving on 6 ships The island has seen its busiest day this winter cruise season. The ships that arrived were the Star Pride, Aida Luna, Grandeur of the Seas, Aida Diva, Voyager of the Seas, and the Carnival Magic. I love St. Martin, but I'm not sure I'd want to be there with 6 ships. That might be a bit of a stretch. All right, this is it's a story that I hate to talk about, but it's become a reality in the cruise world. 2 former Star Cruises ships arrived at the shipbreakers in Alang, India, where they will be broken up as scrap metal. The arrival of the 2 means that the former Star Cruises cruise line has been nearly completely dismantled following the bankruptcy of its parent company, Genting Hong Kong. Star Cruises had no more future. Star Pisces was scrapped in July, Superstar Libra in May, and now 2 former Norwegian Cruise Line cruise ships, Superstar Aquarius and Superstar Gemini. Superstar Aquarius first sailed as Windward and later Norwegian Wind. Superstar Gemini first sailed in 1992 as Dreamward and later operated as Norwegian Dream. So they're being scrapped. And the last story today has to do with our friends over at Carnival. In response to online rumors through social media forums and videos, Carnival Cruise Line has clarified its plan for the essential safety briefing, also known as the muster drill. Carnival Cruise Line brand ambassador John Heald has clarified that the e-muster format is still in use aboard all Carnival ships and will remain the preferred safety briefing for the time being. Thank goodness for that. I hope other cruise lines join Carnival and do the same thing. That coming out the post-pandemic, that's probably, to me, the most important thing that they've done. I like it. And folks, if you're going to go on a cruise, let's say you're new, first time you've been on a cruise, as soon as you get on board, most of us get on board before we can actually access our cabins. Find where your muster station is and go take care of it first. That's the very first. Well, I get my scooter, whatever I have to do to get the scooter. Now, sometimes I've been able to get it at the curb and gone through check-in on the scooter. Other times, if I have to get the scooter on board, which both of these next 2 cruises are going to be that way, I make sure that either the wheelchair guy that's pushing me on board goes and gets my scooter out of the cabin and brings it to me, or somebody from guest services goes to get my scooter and bring it to me. I will not let them just park me, dump me off someplace, and say they're going to come back for me. I've run into problems with that in the past. So that's my way of beating it when it happens. But anyway, as soon as I get my scooter, I go take care of the muster drill. Because I've cruised so much, especially like, let's say with Royal Caribbean, I can do the muster drill as well as they can. I go up to them, I tell them who I am. I've been on 19 cruises this year already, and they just click on my number. That's done. It's over with. If you are new, they're going to go through the muster drill, which is explaining how to put on the life vest and where they're kept. And if some kind of emergency, you come to the muster station, and it's all good information. A lot of times it's on the television once you get to your room as well. So, and then invariably, folks, there's going to be somebody that's going to be drinking and partying and have not gone to the muster station, and they start screaming over the loudspeakers to please go check in at your muster station before we can sell. We can't sell till everybody's checked in and blah, 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 all those things. Just do it first, get it out of the way, and then you're free for your vacation, folks. It's so much easier that way. And I love the e-muster hydros. So much better. The other thing that I liked the most about the changes was when they were actually serving you in the buffet. And they're back to where you serve yourself. And I liked it a lot better off when they were actually serving you. All right, let's go see who's fussing at me in the chat room today. Well, there's Kevin. Kevin's getting ready to go on a cruise too. He's going down to Panama. I told Kevin this morning, I said, I'm looking forward to him sailing almost as much as I'm looking forward to sailing myself here in a couple days. So glad to see Kevin starting his year of cruising or longer. So we will be sharing some information from Kevin as he posts it. Eddie's with us. Good morning, Eddie. Yo, yo, yo. Brooklyn in the house. Mike's with us. Hey, Mike. Sonny's here down in Mississippi. There's Dennis. He's over there in Greece. Good to have you back, Dennis. You notice I pronounced Genting correctly. I'm always pleased at myself when I do something right. Thank you, Kevin, because it says first 7 people are watching, 4 thumbs up. That's a good percentage. Smash that thumbs up button. Always appreciate that. I am doing back-to-backs on Enchantment. I'll be on that one on the one that starts on 23rd of February. Sweet! All right. Gonna be sailing with Kevin on the 23rd of February. That's awesome. That'll be fun. That'll be fun. Glad to hear that. Robert's with us. Hi, Robert. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up, folks. Helps more than people find the stream. Yep, absolutely. Another tip, you're more likely to get an upgrade when booking directly through a third party like Expedia. Then there's boy, I had the terrible problems with them on tickets. So anyway, I took care of it. It didn't hurt me any in the long run, other than my blood pressure. I went through several days and a lot of wasted time dealing with Expedia. And quite frankly, Dennis, I never get upgrades. Because I'm handicapped accessible rooms, that once they assign that to me, that's about it. I rarely, I always put in for an upgrade, but I don't ever get one. Don't even worry about it too much. I did pay the extra money on the flights, and I went back to Richmond, folks, back to Breeze Air that Hot Air Tom suggested. He said he loved Breeze. It's the new airlines, but he said they have really nice seats and a lot of leg room. I did pay for the extra leg room, so it cost me, a little more than the cheapy flights, which me, I'm a cheap ass to start with, but I booked the extra leg space. We'll see how it goes. That's it for my January 29th cruise. The Baltimore cruise, I'm going to probably strive to that. That's only, 5 hours or something for me. I'll have to look at the weather. Maybe I should go on book a hotel up there the night before. I don't know. I might have to do that though for parking. I'll think about that one. But anyway, the cruise is booked and paid for. So I'm going to be on that one with Kevin. I'm looking forward to that. That's awesome. Isn't Tom on? Tom is on. He's sailing around the islands. So I'm not sure actually where he is today. I haven't heard from Tom for a couple days now. Of course, I was playing about him causing the volcano to go off. But anyway, I bet he's going to have some pictures because, I mean, when that looks to me like I don't care where you are in Hawaiian Islands, you're going to be able to see Mauna Loa blowing its top. So I'm sure we'll have some good stories for Hot Air Tom. Yeah, and he's on Pride of America, sailing around Hawaiian Islands. It's a 7-day cruise. The erupting volcano is on the Big Island. Yep. There's Blaine. Hi, Blaine. Blaine just got off the carnival celebration. Kevin says, hey to Blaine. Hey, Kevin, how are you, buddy? Kevin says, travel, living a dream. Isn't that the truth? I hear you. I see you're going to be cruising a lot. We were on Carnival Celebration last week. Smash that thumbs up, folks. Thanks, Kev. Dennis, yes, on the Big Island. My son lives in Kona and sent me pictures of the glowing sky. Yeah. Rally. And by the way, folks, I did have that picture and I didn't get to it. I was going to do that when I was telling the Hot Air Tom story and quite frankly forgot about it. That's a picture of the lava. It was taken about 4 o'clock this morning, our time. So, oops, take that picture off. Where am I? Oh, I'm up here. Eddie said Alice booked the NCL Prima last night for her birthday, January 24th. Oh, yeah, very good. I hope to do Prima sometime this year. That's one of my cruise ships that I'd like to get on if I can catch a good deal. Chillie, who doesn't like to save money, always be smart with your money. Well, I try to. And you guys know that I am not booking anything expensive now. It's got to be a bargain for me to grab it. A bargain for a solo cruiser at that. So it was very pleased when I can negotiate the deals out like that. And it'll be interesting now to see if wheelchairs and scoot around wants to continue this agreement on into the future. That would be nice for me, folks. I obviously don't get rich, but that will save me a little bit of money, which I can use to do something else. So anyway, yeah, I'm pleased with that. I thought I was going to go through these holidays with all the deals and so forth and not book one because I've been looking for several days. And then this one came through this morning. And I thought, yeah, that's it. Done. Grab it and growl. And it's going to be, I'll tell you something that's going to be interesting. I have no problems at all with inside cabins. I've always looked at it. I enjoy balconies as much as anybody. I enjoy ocean views as much as anybody. And the one time I've been in the suite, that was terrific. But again, because of my tight nature, I have no problems with an inside cabin. I can do 2 or 3 cruises paying for inside cabins for the same price of paying for a balcony, or sometimes 4 cruises if I'm careful with my money. This, however, is not only an inside cabin, it's on deck too, which it looks from the map floor plan like it's a huge uh, accessible cabin. So I'm going to have plenty of space, but it's on deck two. I thought deck two was always the hospital and you know, down in the bowels of hell on a cruise ship. I'm going to be in the bowels of hell. That's okay. We'll see how that goes. I was one of the cruises I was just recently on. I was on deck three, and that was at that point was the lowest I'd ever been on a cruise ship. So we'll find out what deck two's like. Let's see, where was I? Awesome. Our next, the Vloggers Cruise. Blaine's going to be on the Vloggers Cruise January 29th. Yeah, Blaine, that was the cruise, the whole story about the airfare business. And that was for the Vloggers Cruise. I'm actually going to be in New Orleans from the 26th on. And then we get on the cruise on the 29th, get back in on the 5th, and I'm staying down on Bourbon Street for one night after we get back in New Orleans and then flying home. So I'm looking forward to that because I like New Orleans. I've been to New Orleans a bunch of times. I enjoy eating in New Orleans almost anywhere you can go. So I'm really looking forward to that. And Blaine among one of the many people I'm looking forward to cruising with and getting a chance to meet and greet and that kind of thing. I haven't tapped into the cruising YouTube community yet, so I'm not aware of those kind of things. Okay. Kenneth's with us up Pennsylvania. Yeah, Eddie's going to be on the Vloggers Cruise as well. There's a lot of people in the Vloggers community that are going to be on that ship. So, and we got some normal folks on that ship as well, but Blaine says to Kevin, he's in a good place. Chillie can give you some tips to get plugged in. Well, I certainly try. Dennis says, I also prefer being served at the buffet, especially after having witnessed some of the most atrocious behavior of passengers at the buffet. Me too. And I really I enjoyed that part of the things a lot. And I was totally unhappy when they went back to self-serve. Number one, for me, the buffets are terribly difficult because I've got to maneuver on a scooter and hold a plate and serve the plate and have people trying to run over me constantly. So yeah, I was much better off when I could just hold a plate out and they slap a spoonful of mashed taters on my plate, some gravy, and a piece of chicken there. Of course, I usually went for breakfast, so it was scrambled eggs and bacon or whatever. I liked being served in the buffet. I enjoyed that. So, Dennis noticed and gave me a big thumbs up for Ginting. I'm trying, Dennis. I'm trying. I'm still going to mess up some of those long Italian words. I promise you. No matter how much I practice, by the time I get to saying it's going to be wrong. You'll have fun with Chillie on that cruise. I'm tickled on that one. I'm tickled pink on that one, Kevin. Chillie, who doesn't like to save money, always be smart with your money. Yeah, absolutely. I found the best deals I get on booking cruises through Vacations to Go. You can always ask them for extension on onboard credit, and they will give it to you. I've done a lot with them over the years. My guy that I have with them has gotten so many clients now that his service is not as good as it used to be, especially on little things. Like I've got a cruise booked through them. Actually, it's the cruise that I'm doing with Pittsburgh Jason in November on Carnival Conquest. And there's been a drop in price, so I'm trying to get them to, get me the drop in price, and he's too busy to take care of it. So I'm gonna send him another message again today to see if he had a chance to do that yet, which I know he hasn't. But yeah. Was I able to find any good bargains for Black Friday or Cyber Monday? I didn't have time to look, but I'm sure they were. Actually, I was a little disappointed. There were some, but and I did end up getting the good deal on out of Baltimore. But that wasn't specifically. That was actually one that I had been working on, and it came through. So yeah, that was a good deal, but that wasn't necessarily a Cyber Monday deal or a Black Friday deal. I didn't, as I was looking, I didn't see a whole lot. I saw some advertising that there were cruises that started at $39 a day. I didn't find any, but that was what they were pushing. So there were some bargains out there. I just didn't get to them. You missed a lot of the chat. That's a good possibility, Kevin. Dennis. Is that really? Yeah, it's just sometimes it's hard for me to keep up with it. It goes too fast. There's Rich with us. Good morning, America says today, travel Tuesday, allegedly the lowest prices on cars, cruises, and hotels. Today. Okay, folks. Good morning, America says today's the day to go find a bargain. Thanks, Rich. I got one today. I admit, I booked it this morning. Then it says lower deck midship inside staterooms are best for least motion. Now, thankfully, that's good, but that's one thing that doesn't really bother me. I don't mind the motion at all. Never have, even when it's rough seas. I don't mind it. Kenneth says our next cruise in January, we're going to the Bahamas for a week on Carnival Sunrise. Can't wait to get on the beaches. Yep. My goal next year is to get on a cruise with Chillie. That'll be nice. Kevin says I'm all about inside cabins. I plan on living out of my cabin, not living out of my cabin, not in my cabin. Yeah, well, that's what I do. And it gives me a place that I can work some. But most of my time is spent out and about the ship, But I do need a place to lay my head down at night, and I need a place to charge my scooter and take a shower and things. So, yeah, I don't mind inside cabins. I don't need to look out at, and I don't need to, I'll enjoy sitting out on a balcony. I don't have to have that. I can get out, see a lot more ships and do a lot more things by not. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. And I know some people aren't like that. My niece, for instance, absolutely would not consider going on a cruise unless she could be on a balcony. She can't afford a balcony. She's not going to go. Well, people are like that. You can get $1 million views almost anywhere on a ship for free. Yeah, that's the way I look at it too. Just need a room to sleep and a shower. Yep. Tom is trying to smuggle hot lava in a glass jar back on. Wouldn't surprise me in the least if he's up there trying to catch it in a mason jar to put in his suitcase. That would be like hot air. In the meantime, I can just see Cindy, smoke coming out of her ears. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him. I enjoyed that so much with them. Mothers and fried chicken at Willie Mae's Scotch House for lunch in NOLA. Well, that's one that I haven't been to. One of my favorites in NOLA was the Court of the Two Sisters or Court of the Three Sisters or something like that. It was an courtyard that's kind of off Bourbon Street, back over between buildings, between the two streets, Bourbon Street and whatever street's on the next street over. Ooh, wow, it's been too long since I've been there. I've been there a couple times. I really enjoyed that. I still enjoy going to like Pat O'Brien's, at least to go in for one drink. And it doesn't, I don't care what I pay for the drink. I like going in there. There's a bunch of places on Bourbon Street I like. And no, folks, it's not, I don't collect beads. I don't flash. None of that stuff. No, doesn't interest me. I like Bourbon Street. I like New Orleans for the food and the party atmosphere. I do enjoy that. Get beignets and chicory olay at Cafe Du Monde. I like Cafe Du Monde. And yes, I have had their beignets before. Their location is the French Market. I've been to the French Market. I've been to the old restaurant, and I've been to the French Market as well. Mother's is my favorite for lunch. All right, that's going to be one that I'll try because I'm going to be there, 3 days before the cruise and a day after the cruise. So that's several lunches at least. So I always get. Here's another word for me. Muffaletta. From Central Grocery to keep in the hotel fridge. Muffaletta. I don't know what that is. My guessing is it's like a muffin of some sort. Would be a pure guess. Don't know what a muffaletta, and I'm probably slaughtering the pronunciation of that one. But Dennis always comes up with interesting stuff. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. Again, tomorrow I will be here normal time. Thursday live will be about 6:30 a.m. and No Cruise Amigos Thursday afternoon. I will do a show from somewhere on the road on Friday, wherever I end up at 11 o'clock. I'll do this as always, plan your meals in New Orleans before arriving. Yeah, that's a good idea because they do get busy and book the nice restaurants do book up. So at any rate, guys, just a strange, here it is. Muffaletta is a delicious, huge Italian sandwich. Oh, okay. I will find that. Awesome. Anyway, so we'll have a little bit strange schedule this week, but we'll get on it. And then, of course, I'll be on New Stottendam for a week. And then right after that on the MSC Seascape out of Miami for another week. So the 1st of December is going to be busy for the old fat travel guy. All right, guys, that's going to wrap me up for today. I'll see everybody back here, same time, same channel, tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock for travel and cruise industry news. And as always, folks, stay safe, stay healthy, think about cruising. Hopefully one day soon we'll all get together on the high seas, just like Kevin and Blaine and Eddie we're doing here coming up shortly. I like it. Have a great day. See y'all tomorrow.
I regularly post videos on all facets of the travel and cruise industry. So if you like to keep up with the latest in cruise ships, ports of call, cruises themselves, Chillie chats, and travel and cruise industry news, just hit the little subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner, hit the bell notification so you'll be notified when a new video is up or we go live. This video was produced by Chillie's Cruises.